Hi everybody, thanks for coming back from the break. My name is Stephan, I'm one of the co-founders of Etherisc, and we build decentralized insurance on the blockchain, on the Ethereum blockchain, it's in our name. Why insurance? Insurance is a very good indicator of the maturity of an economy. You can try and find the Netherlands up there. I think it's not on there. I'm sorry for that. I'll try to make sure that I'll get it on there. But the important thing to take away, we are based in Switzerland, so Switzerland is up there. One of our co-founders comes from Germany, the other from the US. So we are all part of a very well-developed economy. And the point I want to get across with this slide is, if crypto economy were a country, where would it be? Down here. Basically, none of crypto goes into insurance premiums, and that's actually just to present the scales. Yeah? How much of the GDP of a country goes into insurance premiums, and how much of crypto goes into insurance premiums? Basically nothing. And we think with this crypto economy maturing, this will change. And Etherisc wants to become the de facto standard for doing insurance on the blockchain. We have a portfolio of 4 products that we are actively developing. We have about 20 now in the pipeline. And our first product, and I remember from one of the previous presentations that the ICOs that don't have a product, you don't want those. We set out in 2016 to create our first product, and that's Flight Delay. You can use it right now at fdd.etherisk.com. This is online and live and usable since September 2016. We launched this for DevCon 2, Ethereum Developer Conference in Shanghai. And back then it was an experiment. And we used the last year, 2017, to turn this into what we believe is the first decentralized, fully licensed, legal, regulated insurance business that's operating completely on the blockchain. Allow me to walk you through the user interface, because we too think that user experience is really important and crucial. So this is the first. If you open the website, you can enter a bit of information about yourself. We need that information in order to be legal insurance. And you select a flight, you choose where you fly from and where you fly to and when. You select your flight. And then you get presented with a policy for a specific flight. You can choose your premium, how much you want to pay, and you can see how much you will get paid out if this particular flight will be delayed. You can get the policy up to 24 hours before the flight takes off. And if you click apply here, MetaMask pops up. Yeah? That's a browser plugin which acts as your wallet in the browser, and you can use this to interact with the Ethereum blockchain. And you transfer a small amount of Ether, your premium, to the smart contract, and that's the last step. As soon as I click submit here, I get my insurance certificate. And nobody has to do anything anymore. As soon as this flight is delayed, you fully automatically get the payout. And that is great user experience if you compare it to traditional insurance. Think about it. If your plane lands and you are half an hour late, as soon as you go online again with your smartphone, with your mobile, you already have that money in your wallet. And that's great user experience. Insurance calls this parametric insurance, when the whole insurance process can be automated. So the underwriting is fully automated. The decision if you get the policy, yes or no, and what the payout to premium ratio is, that's completely algorithmic. And if the flight is delayed, your payout is also automated. So the whole process is fully automatic. We can apply the very same principle. We can apply the very same principle to other insurance verticals, for example, crop insurance. There, the weather is the basic factor for triggering a payout. You can imagine too little rain or too much rain, it's both bad for your crop. And you fully automatically, you get as a farmer, if you have too much rain, you get a payout to cover parts of your damages. And the interesting thing about this is that we can enable very new markets with this. We can bring insurance to people where so far insurance has, from a commercial perspective, not been attractive. Nobody wants to offer insurance where you pay a few dollar cents premium per month. It's just not feasible. It does not make sense from a commercial perspective. With this model, the smart contract does not need to earn money. A smart contract does not need to take a profit. And we have shown with flight delay that we can reduce the development costs of a new insurance product by the factor 100. And we can bring down the operational costs by a factor 10. So instead of taking 30% of your insurance premium to cover operations, which is the cross-industry average, with the smart contract, we need about 3% of the insurance premium. And that changes what kind of insurance products we can build. And our mission is to bring this to a protocol level. We are developing what we call the Decentralized Insurance Protocol, or short DIP. And we want to enable a wide range of insurance businesses. Now let me show you quickly how this works. It's actually very simple. You have a smart contract, a piece of software that sits on a public blockchain, in this case Ethereum. You have a user interface to the right, and you have a data provider and an oracle to the left. In our case, FlightStats delivers the data. It has a public API, and we use Oracleize as a service provider to connect this data provider to the smart contract. Now, what is missing in this picture? The insurance is missing. Because the smart contract acts and behaves just like an insurance. Now, to make this legal, we need to have an insurance license. We need to have an insurance partner that provides the license. But there is no functional role for the insurance partner anymore. I always jokingly say when I'm talking to the insurance people in the room, we are replacing the insurance company with a piece of software. Now, I know you like tokens, so the DIP protocol, the Decentralized Insurance Protocol, also has a token, the DIP token. And I want to shortly talk about the role of the token in this model. We use staking to ensure the data quality. For parametric insurance, data quality is one of the crucial factors. You want to have very good data, you want to have correct data, and you want to get the data in time to provide a great user experience. We are working with Oracleize. We like what they're doing. Thomas is a big fan of ours and was very supportive of our project from the beginning. And we could convince Oracleize that they take DIP tokens and they stake an amount of DIP tokens as a kind of service level agreement, basically promising we will make sure that our service is up and running. And we do the same with FlightStats. And if they don't deliver, they lose part of their stake. So they have a strong economic incentive to actually deliver the data and deliver it in time. If they do, they can get their stake back. If they don't get their stake back. And what's more important, if we don't get the data from this one, we can use the same tokens that we can take from their stake. We can use those tokens to compensate someone else who can provide the same data. So you can think of this as a version of Amazon Mechanical Turk. We can basically say, here are 15 tip tokens. Please tell me, was this flight delayed, yes or no, and how many minutes? That's the basic idea, and this is why we need a token to incentivize this kind of behavior. This is just one of the functions that we have for the token. We have currently defined 4 or 5 functions, and we will make sure that those functions exist and are ready to use, just like we heard, when the token generating event actually happens, to be on the safe side. I know it's a complicated slide, yeah, but this is how the ecosystem looks like we envision it. So we have in the center is the risk pool. We have the insured people. They pay premiums into the risk pool, and they get payouts when they make a claim. So that's the basic insurance circle. And we need reinsurance. We need some way to capitalize those risk pools. So basically, we want to make sure that the risk pool can pay out, even if no premium has ever been paid, or if only the first premium has ever been paid. And we have come up already in 2016 with a way to tokenize this, to tokenize the reinsurance market. So basically, it's a securities token. It's insurance-linked securities on the blockchain. That's a concept that is well known in insurance, and we tokenize risk. So you, as an investor here, if you are an investor, you can put your money into those tokens and capitalize the risk pool here, so that this whole ecosystem, insurance ecosystem, can actually work. And what's more important, the DIP token, the DIP protocol token, serves as an incentive mechanism to organize all those parties, all those skills that you need in order to come up with an insurance product. That's the function that is currently being done in the traditional insurance system by the corporate, the company, the insurance company. And the role of the insurance company is taken by this DIP token to provide all the incentives that all these people can work together to provide a great insurance product that's working with the decentralized insurance protocol. This is what we are currently building. We have found a foundation in Switzerland, the Decentralized Insurance Foundation, that's operative since December 2017. We have just recently started the registration phase for our token generating event. So you can go on to Etherisc.com and register yourself for the token generating event. We want to make sure that we are very much on the safe side regarding legal and regulatory requirements. Switzerland is a very good place to be. Yeah, so the ICO guidelines that have been recently released by FINMA are very much in our favor. We are working with 2 very good law firms, one in Switzerland, one in the US, and it's looking very good already. So we are targeting larger and institutional contributors now, and we will open this to the public and to a wider audience very soon. And I want to invite you to join, of course, but I don't want to go too much into pitching mode. So the foundation acts as the non-profit entity that raises the funds. The foundation will have a commercial entity, the Etherisc International AG. The commercial entity will act as a holding and have a few subsidiaries. The first one will be in Malta. Malta is very good from a regulatory perspective regarding insurance licenses. And we are working with the regulators in Switzerland. We are working with the regulators in Malta very closely to be really at the forefront of mapping the legal entities. Malta has a legal entity class called a PCC, a protected cell company, which lends itself very nicely to this platform approach that we can really enable a whole lot of insurance companies. The way it works is that we will have our own core, we will have our own core company, and we can very easily and very relatively cheaply come up with new cells around this core, which all use the same infrastructure and which all use the same protocol to provide insurance products. And another detail which is still very, very experimental, I think one exists so far, is the SCC. That's a similar structure which allows us to issue securities. And with this structure, that's both based in Malta, that's the Maltese flag. With those structures, we think we are very well set up to streamline this process of developing new insurance businesses on the blockchain. The goal is to bring down the time to market that it needs to start a new insurance business. We want to bring this down from now literally years. Just yesterday I met a health insurance guy. It took him 18 months to get his license. We want to bring this time down to an afternoon. I want to enable people to start an insurance business in one afternoon. And that's the goal here, and this is the structure with which we can make this happen. It's very much a community-driven effort. Last year we organized a conference on that topic, decentralized insurance, the D1 Conf, in Cancun in Mexico, just next to the Ethereum developer conference, DevCon 3. And we had about 10 speakers on stage from various projects. Prediction Markets, Gnosis was there, Augur was there. We had Consensus with their insurance arm. We had AXA was coming, which was a great deal for us because they just launched a flight delay insurance and claimed that it was working on the blockchain, but it was just a PR stunt. And yes, we have all the videos, and so you can look into this. But basically, we want to position ourselves as enabling a larger community. And of course, the protocol that we develop will be open source and free to use for non-profit insurance, for cooperative insurance, for mutuals, and also for commercial insurance. And if that's interesting for you, this is our team. Our leadership team. We now have about 35 people working for that project, and I should update this slide to show them all. And if that's interesting for you, please let me know. I will be here and happy to look forward to answering your questions. Thank you. You need to throw. Yeah.
Questions?
Yeah, so the premium that you said is taken into Ethereum. So how do you incorporate the volatility? Like, for instance, if you try.
Yes, very good question about the volatility of. He was asking how do we manage the volatility of Ether if we take premiums in Ether. You can see here, and I forgot to mention, you can pay the policy also in fiat. We also accept credit card payments. And we encode the fiat value, the US dollar value, for example. We encode this in Y. So it's a kind of a poor man's fiat gateway. So for a $25 premium payment, we issue a real Ethereum transaction with 25Y. And so we can differentiate between fiat payments and crypto payments. And we can process both in the same set of smart contracts. And the volatility is not an issue here because it's different risk pools. We have a fiat risk pool and we have a crypto risk pool. So if you pay your premium in Ether, you get a payout in Ether. If you pay your premium in Euro or US dollar, you get your payout in Euro or US dollar. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And what are the numbers? Like kind of insurance that is happening in that?
Yes, so this was in production already. Yeah, so currently we don't have an instance in production, but we sold about 100 policies and processed about 7 payouts. It's not much, I know, but it's a beginning and it's a real business. So it's really fully legal, it's fully licensed, and we can scale it up. We can easily scale it up. We are looking forward to have distribution partners that work with us to roll this out on a global scale. Yeah, and I'm very much looking forward to that. And we can scale this. So we have reinsurance ready to go. We have a lot of distribution partners that are interested. We are still looking for the right one. Please.
Thanks so,
Other way around.
thanks so much. I had a question for you. I'm a little familiar with insurtech space because I've got personal investments in a few insurtech companies in US and Europe. You mentioned crop insurance, you mentioned airline delay insurance. Curious, why did you choose those particular verticals as your initial products and not others?
Yes, very good question. Thank you. So this is for us, this is parametric insurance, and it has a few very nice attributes. In particular, flight delay. Yeah, you have relatively small amounts. Yeah, so you have small premiums, relatively small payouts, and you have short time frames. So basically, the moment from buying the policy until payout, that's a matter of weeks or months. Yeah? So we can, first of all, we don't need much capital. Yeah? And we can easily calculate. We can basically, the smart contract is built in a way that it would not accept a new policy if it could not pay out the maximum payout. Yeah? So we have a 100% solvency guarantee, which is better than insurance regulation prescribes. Yeah? And we can even fine-tune this. Yeah? So at the moment, I think it's configured to be 140%. Yeah? But we can fine-tune this to, for example, comply with Solvency II. And parametric insurance lends itself to the idea of having a smart contract and fully automated insurance. And flight delay is the first example. Weather data is already more complicated. To make this really fly, we need to show that we can process claims in a decentralized way. Yeah? And that's called decentralized claims management, which is a subset of decentralized decision making. And there we are with consensus models. And we are working now with DAO Stack. It's a project based in Israel. And very good people and very... we think that we can make decentralized decision making. We can apply this to the decision of, is this claim valid or not? But this is research. This is really a research question. We are funding this research, and we are looking forward to have this, but I don't think that we will see this in production in the next months. Yeah, it takes some more time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.